Hi everyone! I'm going to go into a deep dive on how to get seen on Google Search. I'll show you what you can do with your website, and I've created mine with the website builder, website.com, and I'm logged in right here. We'll talk about submitting to Google Search, all about your website setup, and the best way to structure your website content. So let's get straight into it. Now, first things first, if you've just published your website, not to worry, it takes Google a while to crawl your website and know of its existence. So if your website is freshly published, up and running smoothly, let's go a bit further to get your website ranking on Google Search. You can check if your website has already been indexed by Google by going to Google Search. So I have that open in another tab. And now here you can type site, and now your website domain name. So for mine, it's auntiescupcakes.com. Once you've typed that in, now click search. So my website has been indexed because it already has some results that come up. If your website has not been indexed yet, you won't see any results here. So one way to speed up the indexing process is to verify your website and submit your sitemap to Google Search Console. The good news is that website.com will automatically create a sitemap for you. So to verify your website and submit it to Google, we made this step-by-step video tutorial, and I'll leave that in the comments. So let's go back to the editor. Next, if you have a local business, it is well worth your time to create a Google Business profile. This way, your website can be shown in a directory list on Google Search and Google Maps, getting more eyeballs and traffic to your website. So to watch a tutorial on how to create your Google Business profile, we have a video tutorial for you to follow, which I'll also add to the description. For example, if you have a Google Business profile, it could show up in these listings right here. So let's go back to the builder again. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of your website design and content. Now, first of all, having a mobile-friendly website is essential for Google. Luckily, if you've made your website with website.com, it's automatically mobile optimized. If you want to take a look at that, as I'm in the website builder, all I have to do is click on preview, and I can see the different versions of my website for different devices. Now, UX, or the user experience of your website, is very important. Make sure the navigation through your website is smooth and makes sense. You want to double check that all the buttons work, that the text is legible, and that you don't have tons of subpages in your menu, important links buried on random pages, or large videos that autoplay for no reason. You want to make sure that your website gives visitors a good experience. So have some friends or trusted clients test out your website and give you their honest thoughts. Another way to make your website experience smoother is to naturally add internal links within your website that leads visitors through. That also helps Google understand your website. So for example, down here, I mentioned the cafe. So I'll turn that into a link. I'll just highlight that text, and you can do it on the left right here, or use this quick tool that pops up here, and we're going to have it linked to my cafe page gallery. So that's what it looks like. Let's go to the preview. So let's say if somebody clicks on that, it will take them to this page here. So I'll go back to edit the site, and I'll go back to the home page. So another example could be if you mention your top-rated services on your homepage, you may want to link that to your services page. Now, another thing to pay attention to is the content length on your website. So one mistake that website owners make is not having enough content on their web pages. So that's a mistake that I have with this website right here. There's not a lot of content, so it doesn't give your visitors or Google Search a chance to know more about your business or your website. The goal is to have enough relevant content that lets humans and search engines know what you offer and how you fit into your industry. A good sweet spot to aim for is 300 to 700 words per page. So to add more content, I might want to add a section. I could add an FAQ section right here. And that's a great way to naturally add more text that's relevant to your visitors and they can find exactly what they're looking for. Another way would be to add an about section. So I'll add a section right here. We'll add about. We'll choose a layout, and here you can add more information about what you offer. Make sure this content is relevant to your business and industry and incorporates your target keywords naturally within the flow of your content. Speaking of keywords, make sure you do your research to ensure that you're using the best keywords for your website. You want them to be specific to your type of business instead of going too broad, so think of your ideal client and what they would be searching for. So here's a trick to boost your SEO. If your targeted keywords are best cupcakes in mainland, try to incorporate your targeted keywords in the H1, in the URL of your page, and in the opening paragraph or very early on in the content of your main page. So I'm going to do that right now. I want this to be the H1. So first of all, I'll click on this title, and you only want to have one H1 tag per page. I'll click on SEO right here. I'll change this to H1. So this tells Google that this text is the most important text on this page. And now we can add our targeted keywords. Now I want to add this best cupcakes in mainland also to my content that's early on in the page. So I might want to change it right here. I want to make sure I naturally incorporate that. I don't want to just copy it again. Or you could add a description to this section. We'll toggle that on. And you could add that right here. Now looking at this hero section, I want to keep the user experience in mind, and it does look like there's not enough contrast between the text and the background, so I want to make it more legible. One way to do that is to either darken the background or darken the text. I just want to create some contrast here. So I've clicked on this section and I'm going to click Change Colors and Layout. I'm going to add more of an opacity overlay. And that adds more contrast, making it easier to read the text. All right, we'll go back. If you want to change the URL for this web page, we'll click on this home button to go back to start and then click on Manage Pages. This is the welcome page. So to change the URL, I'll click Edit. And then you can choose Rename Page. And here is the page title. I'll leave that as is. This is also how it appears in the site menu. For the page URL, right now it's auntiescupcakes.com/home. And I'll change that to auntiescupcakes.com/best-cupcakes-in-mainland. So now I've saved that. So you can go ahead and do this for all of your website pages. You can target different keywords on different pages. Just make sure that they're smoothly incorporated into your content. Another way to add content and keep it relevant is to build a resources page that you can update regularly with new articles and pages. You can watch our tutorial to show you how to create a resources page, and again, I'll link that in the comments. You may also want to build authority for your website by having backlinks that lead back to your website. So that's great, for example, for my cafe if I get reviewed by other publications. And another proactive way that you can make this happen is to be a guest author for another reputable blog or website and have them include a link back to your website. Now, one way to make sure you aren't sabotaging your website is by not using duplicate content. Even if you have pages with similar content, for example, an About section on every page, aim to use different content instead of just copying and pasting word for word from another web page. Google wants your page content to be unique. And above all else, do not copy content from someone else's website. Now, the very last SEO tip is to make sure your website looks trustworthy. So first of all, make sure you have an SSL certificate, and rest assured all Website.com premium plans include an SSL certificate for free. If you can, add reviews on your website. Add links to your social media accounts. And for this website, I have it right here. You can put them in the header and the footer. Just toggle it on and then click edit to change the social media links. And make sure you're very transparent about your policies and your services. So you might want to create a terms and conditions page for your website or incorporate important information in your FAQs. So try out all of these tactics and see if it can improve your rankings on Google search. Be aware that patience is needed. This is not an overnight fix, but it does set you up with the best possible strategies to help your website succeed consistently over time. We hope this was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to Website.com for more website tips and tutorials. Thanks for watching.